Competitor analysis. How good are your competitors? So everything we've kind of just said about you, you should look at your competitors. There you go. It's pretty much, as I said, everything you just said about you, you do for your competitors. I don't know if I agree with that one. How big is your competitor's marketing team and budget? There's one of the great. I went and saw a speaker on marketing. Who's the marketing director for a large bank. Clearly knows his stuff. Clearly gets a fair amount of cheese to know his stuff. And he often said, good marketing is not about outspending the opposition; it's about outthinking the opposition. And I think that's true there. I think you don't need a bigger budget. I think you just need to be wiser with it. One of my key things for marketers is you shouldn't have to spend money. If you have to lower the price of your product, you don't know marketing. If the only way you think of increase sales is to make it cheaper, then you're really not focused on marketing at all. And it's the same here as well. If you just have to outspend your competition, you kind of don't know marketing. It's about using your brain, not your wallet. Once again, what people saying about it, what's their share of voice, etc. That's an interesting one. Who are your new content marketing competitors? What are people looking at online? Because they are now considered your competitors. So you've got a new product review for the new iPhone 22s, G, Pro, Max, Lite, whatever. But what are people watching online? Are they still watching Game of Thrones reruns or Friends reruns or whatever? It's because that is also what people are looking at. So how do you get people onto your website to look at that? This is a great website. I'll do a separate little video on SimilarWeb.com. This is great because for you guys, it really helps you collect the data you need for your retirement. Okay, because you don't. I presume most of you don't work for or run the company that you want to analyze. So how do you get the data? How do you know the visitors and how long they spend on each page? If you sign up to SimilarWeb, it gives you that information only for the first 4 weeks. Then you have to pay. So sign up, get the information, and then leave it. Unless you want to seriously do digital marketing, then I would recommend you stay with it. It's a great source of data. What words are people using on that website? What words are they using to find that website? Sometimes it's not words you would think of, or even it might be misspells and things like that. It's all good information is on SimilarWeb. Good information. Okay, so use that for your assignment. Very useful, but it is also useful to look at where you're doing, what your competitors are doing, etc. So why did your customers choose you? There's loads of reasons. I'm not going to go through them all, because as well, that word's better priced. What do you mean by better? Do you mean cheaper? Or do you mean perceived value? What do you mean by more mobile? Surely mobile is an absolute, flexibility is an absolute, so what do you mean more flexible? So what is defined by that? So these aren't really good terms, but you need to know, why do your customers choose you? I always tell the story of my barbers. When I was 5, I had the same barber until I was about 28. Actually, no, a bit younger than that, probably about 22 because I started shaving my own head then. So for that 18 years, I always had the same barber. It wasn't because of his haircut. You always got a short back and sides. It didn't matter what you went in for, you came out with a short back and sides. Okay, his prices were okay, but they weren't the cheapest. They weren't the most expensive either. So his prices were fine. His location, once again, was okay, but we were in a similar distance. There was 4 other barbers. So why did I choose that one barber? And the reason was none of that. The reason was that barber knew everything about me, but he also remembered everything about me. He remembered who my friends were. And therefore, when I went to see that barber, he would tell me how my friends were doing. This was kind of pre-Facebook days, pre-social media. I would go and sit in the barber's chair and he'd go, "Oh, Dave got that promotion that he went for." And you, "Oh, brilliant, well done, Dave. Oh, Michael scored at the weekend for his football team. Oh, brilliant." So he would tell me all about my friends. I wouldn't need to go see my friends, which for me is a great thing. And that's why I went to that barber. It wasn't his prices. It wasn't his quality of service as a barber. It was his, in effect, you could argue, his CRM, his customer relationship management. He knew who I was, he knew who my friends were, and he could then retailor the discussion towards something that was supremely relevant to me. There you go. This is more online stuff. Don't underestimate that one. You might just be happen to be in the right place at the right time. Luck is a big thing for business. Okay, right place at the right time is very key for businesses. Yes, there's a lot you can do to optimize your ability to be in the right place at the right time, but still whether it happens or not. Now, luck is key for business, but not exploiting that luck is the travesty. Okay, so you can't always get lucky, but once you are lucky, you've got to exploit it as a marketer, and that's one of the key things. So yeah, why did people choose you? And as I said, you've got to. It's always an interesting one. And don't even ask them because often customers might not even realise why they chose you. 80% of people, when asked, say they prefer Coca-Cola. However, when given a blind taste test, only 50% of people prefer Coca-Cola. Why do 30% of people not know their own taste buds? Okay, surely they've been drinking this stuff for years. Why do they not know they actually prefer the taste of Pepsi instead of Coke? But when asked, they say they prefer Coke. So when we're talking about why do people choose you, asking your customer isn't always the greatest way forwards. There's a great book about why people lie and how you should trust Google Analytics better than people.